Hi and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Can I have a quick +1 in the chat that I'm visible as well as equally audible? Then we would start right away. Hi and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Okay, sorry for the dual audio. Actually, it is because of my preview screen. Okay. Kunal Aldia. Hey bro. Shruti, yes. Thanks a lot. Ankita Kumari. Hey. Okay. So I think we should start now. Okay, because we have waited for 1 minute. Or should we wait for? No, okay. So 4 people have already joined and it's 3-2. So we have successfully waited 1 minute. Okay. So we would start with the problem. Okay. So today we would be discussing yesterday's problem of the day, that is valid sum pair. Okay. And this is a medium level problem with a success percentage of around 49%. Okay. So moving forward, let us understand the problem statement. In the problem statement, we are given an array of size n, and we need to find the number of distinct pairs I and j, where I shouldn't be equal to j in the array such that ai and aj is greater than 0. Okay, so सिंपल भाषा में समझा जाए तो हमें एक array दिया जाएगा size n का, एंड हमें डिस्टिंक्ट पेयर्स निकालना है किसका, इंडेक्सेस का. ओके, डिस्टिंक्ट पेयर ऑफ इंडेक्सेस. ओके, सच दैट द सम ऑफ ai एंड aj इज ग्रेटर देन 0. ओके, सपोज यहाँ suppose it is 3. Just let me do this. Yeah, suppose it is 3 and -2 which is present in the array. We can consider this. Why? Because 3 plus -2 is equals to 1, which is greater than 0. So we can consider this. Okay, so let us start solving the problem statement. Let us start solving the test cases now. So we are given the test cases as 3, -2 and 1. Okay, so let's try to give this to these 3. Okay, so these will match with 3 -2, so 3 and -2. Okay, and then again 3 with 1, so this would be also there. Then -2 to 3 is there, but we have already counted that -2 and 3. Okay, so what I want to say is 3 comma -2 is treated as same as -2 comma 3. Okay, this means the distinct element. We need to find the number of distinct pairs. That is the meaning of distinct. Okay, suppose the array indexes are 0 and 1, so we can't write it again as 1 and 0. Okay, this is not allowed. Okay, and if you just, this is a thing that is needs to be remembered. Okay, so good. Talking about this, so we have only 2 pairs, we can't consider any other pairs. Okay, and then again 1 with -2 would become -1 only, so and 1 with 3 would become 4, but we have already counted it, so it is it. Okay, so am I clear with the problem statement or not? Not. Can I have a quick +1 in the chat that I'm clear with the problem statement? Then we would move right away. Okay, hi Pankhodi. Okay, am I clear with the problem statement or not? Can I have a quick +1 in the chat? After I get at least a 2 + 1, that is 50% of the crowd, then I would move forward. Can I have a quick +1? Okay, seems like I need to wait a little bit longer. So let me start a timer, and I would consider timer. Okay. Thanks a lot. Okay. So thanks a lot, Ankita and Shruti. So let's move forward with this. Okay, how can we consider this? Suppose we have A1, A2, A3, A4 and A5. Okay, whatever is this. So suppose A1 plus A3 is equals to greater than 0. A1 plus A3 is greater than 0. Okay, Now again suppose a3, a1 and a4 is again greater than 0. So a1 plus a4. Okay. Now the next thing is that suppose we have minus 3, okay, then 2, then 1, then 5 itself. Okay. So what are the pairs of 2? So it would be like this, sorry. It would be 1 and 2. Yeah. So let us see what are the number of pairs with 1. Just minus 3. Okay, minus 3. So we would consider only this number. What are the pairs with this? Minus 3 with 1? No, it won't happen. Minus 3 with 2? No, it won't happen. Minus 3 with 5 would result into a positive. So we would just write minus 3 and 5. So minus 3 and 5. Okay. Then suppose we have 10 here. We have 13 here and we have 17 here. Whatever be the thing. Then we can observe that after a certain period of time, if this value is our answer, then this value would also be our answer, because minus 3 plus 10. Then this value would also be our answer, minus 3 and 13. This value would also be our answer, minus 3 and 17. Okay. So we can see that we need to just count the indexes. Okay. We don't need to report the index. We just need to count the index. So if we just sort this, okay, even if we had to report the index, if we should make a pair of indexes with that number and can sort it. But sorting won't affect our answer in any way in this question, and it would just facilitate our answer. How it would facilitate our answer? Because suppose we found a match, then all the other numbers which are greater than that number would also be a match. Okay. Now one more, I am explaining the concept which tells us that we need to sort the array. Okay. Suppose we have minus 5. Okay. And then if we add 6 to it, then the answer would be 1, which is greater than 0. So now if we add minus 5 plus whatever number here which is greater than or equal to 6, the value would be absolutely greater than 1, not less than 1. Okay, that is the thing that tells us that we need to sort the array. Okay, because we found a point and rest all the points would be also our answer. So we don't need to consider all the points every time. Why? Because if we start considering all the points every time, that would give us an n-square approach. We would be standing at a particular position. I think, yeah, just a sec, it got crashed. Sorry, I don't, yeah, okay. The thing is that if we, what is the other approach to this? We can stand at this position and we can count, just we were counting this. But we can see if we just sort this thing, then we can find a value here and all the other values we can just add the values. Okay, so we need to sort the array. Okay, so we need to sort the array. Okay, good. This is the first thing. सर भाई रिवर्स ऑर्डर में कंसिडर नहीं करेंगे, भाई रिवर्स ऑर्डर में कंसिडर नहीं करेंगे, या we don't need to consider in the reverse order, because suppose the indexes are 1 and 2, then 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 is same, it would be considered just once. Guatemala, thanks a lot. Ambika Singh, thanks a lot. Kunal Haldia, yeah. 2 pointers approach, yeah, 2 pointers approach would also work. Can you please provide your email ID? Yes. Okay, so I can't write my email ID here. The thing is that I would just type my email ID. Okay. Do you want the personal email ID or my workplace email ID? If you want the personal email ID, then this is this. Okay, this is it. And if you want my workplace email ID, that is GeeksforGeeks, siddhartha.geeksforgeeks.co.in. Okay, so good to go. Let us move forward. So next thing what we were doing is, suppose we have a value 5. Okay, suppose we have a value negative here 2. Okay, so if we add minus to it, if we add negative to negative, then the answer would be negative, so it won't have our answer. If we add 0 to our answer, Okay, yeah, personal one I have provided you. Siddhartha, SID. Okay, just let me text you. Yeah, just write Siddhartha, then write rasa@gmail.com. Okay, so now suppose we have -1. Okay, so negative added with negative would just result to our answer with negative only. This is it. So next thing what we do, there are three kinds of numbers. First one is negative, then 0, then positive. So if we add negative to negative, then it would just ruin the answer. So if we add 0, so negative plus 0 would be negative only. So this won't work, this won't work. Now talking about positive. Okay, so if we add 1, then the answer would be -1. If we add 2, the answer would be -1. If we add 3, then the answer would be 0. If we add 4, then the answer would be 1. So we can see that there is a pattern here. What is the pattern here? That we need to add at least the positive value plus 1. That is, suppose we have -5, then we at least need to add -5 into -1 plus 1. That is 6 plus 1. That is 5 plus 1. That is 6. Okay, 5 plus 1, that is 6. So we at least need to add 6 or greater. Okay, so good to go. This is what we would be doing. So what is the next thing that we would be doing is, so we need to search an element. Suppose the value, if it is negative, we would ignore that value. If it is 0, we would again ignore that value. If it is positive, okay, what we would do? We would simply do is, we need to find a value multiplied with -1 plus 1. Multiply -1, then add 1 to it. Okay, then what we would, okay, yeah, Pooja Deshpande, can you please just wait, till this explanation is over? After this explanation is over, we are open for general doubts and I would resolve your doubts. Okay, so now talking about this. So suppose we have this number. So if the number is negative, we would ignore it. If the number is 0, then we would again ignore it. If the number is positive, we would multiply it with -1, add 1 to it, and then we need to search the point because the array is sorted. Okay, so suppose we found 6 here. Okay, we found 6 here. So the numbers after it, if there are any numbers, then the numbers would be greater than 6 only. So if we want to find a value, then just this 6 is important. So if we want to find a value, search a value in a sorted array, there are two options. First one is linear search, which has an order of big O of n, and second one is binary. Okay, binary search, which has an order of log n. Okay, and this works only on sorted array. So this is sorted and we can use binary search. Okay, and let's see, we have seen that n square approach won't work. Okay, n square approach won't work, so we need to think of a better solution. So n into log n would be, it is feasible and it would pass. Okay, now moving forward, now let me recapitulate what we have done. First we sort the array. Okay, sort the array. Okay, why and how, that is explained. Next thing is that we need to search the first point. Suppose the array can be like this also, 6, 6, 7, 7, and then 8. So we know that we need to find the position of 6. But if this 6 is having a value positive, then this 6 would also have a value positive, and this 6 would also have a value positive. So we need the first occurrence of that number. So if positive, then multiply it with -1, add 1 to it, and do lower bound. Okay, lower bound. Now what is lower bound? Lower bound tells us the, just let me quickly tell you. Lower bound tells us the first occurrence if present. Okay, if present, else it would produce the next greater element. Okay, next greater element. Okay, element just greater to it, element just greater. Okay, now quickly tell me what would be the lower bound value of this. Suppose we have 1, 3, 7 and 9, and suppose we are searching for 4 here. Can you quickly tell me which index would it return? The indexes are 0, 1, 2 and 3. We are searching the element 4. So what would lower bound return as the index? Okay. Quickly tell me. Okay. So the lower bound 4 is not present in the answer. So it would return us this 7. Yeah, absolutely, Kunal Haldia. So if it is present, it would return me the first occurrence. Suppose it was 4, 4, 4 and 4. So it would return me the occurrence of this. So this is it. So but the thing is that from my personal perspective, it is advised that you should know how to implement lower bound. But there is already a STL present, so you can consider using that, but you should know how to implement that. Okay. So now talking about this, we would just search the lower bound and then we would subtract the index and then we would add to the answer. Okay, good. So let us move to the implementation now. The implementation is absolutely simple. We need to return a long, so we would be initializing a long answer with 0. Okay, so it is already understood that we need to return that only. Next thing is that we need to sort the array. Okay, we would be sorting that array, and then if the array element is less than or equal to 0, that is, if it is negative or 0, we would just continue from here. Okay, we would just continue. Okay, then we would search the lower bound of it. Okay, that is negative plus 1, and then we would subtract that and we would add to our answer. Okay, am I clear with this or not? This seems quite very simple. Just let me know if this is clear or not. I would be waiting for next 1 minute, and if I don't get a reply, I would be turning off the session. And now talking about Pooja Deshpande. Pooja Deshpande, you were asking me something. Can you please ask me again, because your message is retracted? Are duplicates present in the array? Are duplicates present in the array? Let me check the question again because I don't remember. It might be the case of, yeah, duplicates might be present in the array. Duplicate, because it is not mentioned that the array of distinct elements is given. Okay. Kunal Haldia, repeat bhai please. Yes for sure. Yes for sure. Let me do it. Okay. So we need to return a long. So we would initialize a long answer with 0, because initially the value would be 0. And next we would be searching the value. So let me copy paste this. Okay. Let me copy paste this and I would be able to explain you much easily. Okay. And then, okay, just let me cut it. And okay, just try to solve this value. Okay, so first what we are doing is we are sorting this. Okay, so the value would be like this. Okay, -2, 1 and 3, and the indexes would be 0, 1 and 2. Okay, after this sorting, this would be the order. Okay, on the sample test case. Next we would start from the first index, that is 0. So we are at this index. So if this 0 a-i is less than equal to 0, we would simply ignore that. Okay, we won't come down. Why? Because there is a continue return. So we would ignore this. Next we would come on to 1 itself. Okay, this value is not negative, not 0. Okay, so we would find the lower bound of it. How we would find the lower bound? We would multiply it with -1 and then add 1, that is 0. Okay, so now start searching the 0. So it would report me, if we start searching 0 in this array, it would report me 1. Okay, so 1 minus 1 would be 1 minus 1 would be 0 only. So we would be adding 0. Okay, then 3. Okay, then 3. We have 3 here. So now talking about 3. Sorry. Okay, talking about this value 3. Okay, so this value is positive. So what we would do is we would first multiply it with subtraction. So -3 plus 1, that would be -2. and we would search the value. So if we search -2, it would return me the index 0. Okay, and what is the current index? The current index is 2, so that would be 2 minus 0, that is 2. So we would add 2 to our answer, and the final value would be 2 only, and we would be returning it. Okay, this is the whole dry run of our solution. Can I have a quick +1 that you have understood? For positive number, we can do n into n minus 1 by 2, where n is the last index, and add the total. Yeah, there are many ways to do this problem. There are 2 pointers approaches too. Okay, sir, this algo will work for duplicates as well. Could you take an example? Yeah, this algo would work for duplicates as well. Let me take an example. Suppose it was -2. Okay, let me clear this. Okay, suppose just take one more value. Suppose this is -2, 1 and 3. Okay, just take one more value, that is -2 here. Okay, so we would do 3, and the value would be -3 plus 1, that would be -2. So we would search the -2 value. So this would report me 0. This would lower bound would report me 0. So 0, 1, 2 and 3. So 3 minus 0 is equals to 3. Okay, so there are 3 pairs with 3 that would tell the answer as greater than 0. Is this clear? So this negative duplicate one is also done. So I have been doing DSA for 1 month, but still can't solve medium level question. Can you guide me out, please? So 1 month means you have just started. Okay, 1 month means you have just started. You are learning the syntax. You should be working upon your implementation skills now. Okay, so medium level questions should not be the cup of tea for you now, because at first you should be trying to do implementation problems for the first month. Then you should be moving on to the easy questions. After that, you should be trying your hands on to medium level question. Why? Because in the first month, we don't expect anyone to learn lower bound, binary search, sorting and all. Okay, it is not expected, because in 1 month we have 30 days. Even if you invest at most 5 hours every day, you are not expected to do that. Okay, so just be easy on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Okay, you don't need guidance. You are on the right path. Just let me know if you are well versed with the implementation skills or not. Okay, talking about this, yeah, this is clear, yeah, this is clear, but there will be non-distinct pairs in this case. How there will be non-distinct pairs? Let me clear this out. Okay, so we would be having 0 and 3, then we would be again having 1 and 3, then we would be again having 2 and 3. No one is everything is distinct. There is no non-distinct pairs. Can I have a quick reply from you so that I don't need to wait? Then we would turn off the session. Just do the dry run for some test cases and you would know that there won't be any non-distinct pairs. Why? Because we are subtracting it from the current index. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Just do some dry run. Okay, so I would be again waiting for 1 minute. It is now I am open for general doubts. Anything you want to ask? Okay, general doubts after you are done. Bye. Okay, so let us do this. Okay, so let us start with this. Okay, we would be waiting for 1 minute now. Okay, so that's good. Thanks Shruti, thanks Kunal, thanks Ankita Kumari, thanks Pankhuri, thanks Gautam, thanks Ahmed. Okay, then thank you so much Ayush. Okay, thank you so much Pooja. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining this session. Okay, if possible भैया आप जो क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हैं, आप जब आप क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते थे इन योर इनिशियल डेज, जब कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं सॉल्व होता था तो कितने देर तक ट्राई करने के बाद आप सोल्यूशन ढूंढते थे? सो द थिंग इज दैट व्हाट आई डिड वाज, if you just go till now also, I have a lot of timer. Okay, I have a lot of timer. So if you just see, I have a 15 minutes timer. So whenever I start with a question, even in my initial days until now, I do the same thing. Okay, I stick to a same plan. What I do is I start the timer of 15 minutes. Okay, I try that question, and suppose I am out of ideas completely for the next 15 minutes. So I look at the first line of the solution. Okay, then I again try. Suppose the thing is that sometimes we think that we can make up the solution, but in reality we can't make up the solution, and we sit solving one question for the whole day. So what should we do is we should start a 30 minutes timer, which would let us know that we are wasting our time, or we are wasting excessive time on a particular question. So this 30 minutes timer would keep a check on your excessive wastage of time, and this 15 minutes timer would keep a check that when you are out of ideas, you should be looking upon the editorial one line. But from my view, you should never look at the editorial. Okay, you should never consider looking at the editorial, not editorial, implementation. You should never look at the implementation, because everyone has their own implementation styles. You won't realize it now, but in the initial days every code looks same. But if you are on the intermediate position, some use different approach, some use different syntax of binary search, some use different, some everyone has their own repository after all. Okay, so I think every doubt is clear. That's good. Thank you Priyanka, you are most welcome. So that's good. Have a nice day. Please, if possible, just like and comment the video, because YouTube algorithm is such that it recommends the video which is having higher number of likes as well as comments. Thank you.